It's fantastic to be back on Sharing with Yemi. How are you today? I hope your day has been good, as mine has been. I hope that you're keeping well and you're keeping safe. So let me know if you're joining us today. Today is our Business Thursday, and we're going to be discussing business. I have an amazing guest who is a business guru, who's ventured into different industries, and is going to be sharing of his vast experience with us today. So while I wait you to join us, if you're here, let me know, say hello wherever you are. Let me see you joining us today. Hello, Pat. How are you? Oh my goodness. You know what, Pat? You deserve an award. We should just find an award and just give you the best best audience of Sharing with Yemi, because you're always there, right on the spot. Yourself and Raban. I don't know who gets in first before the other every other day. It's great to see you joining us again. Thank you, Pat McDermott. It's great to see you here this evening. How are you keeping? I hope you're keeping well. So, wherever you're at, say hello, stop by, or pass by, or join us for this evening. We're going to be talking business. And as you join us, let me just quickly mention from Monday, right, the 4th of May, from Monday, that's next week, Monday, the 4th of May, Sharing with Yemi is going to be migrating to its own page, its Facebook page. So can I ask that you start to please migrate gradually? For those of my friends who are on my page, right now we're broadcasting on my own page, but for everyone who is not gone to the Sharing with Yemi page yet, please, can I ask that you kindly, even as we speak right now, go and like the Sharing with Yemi page. Right now, just go as we're talking, just go right now and like our page. Give us a little thumbs up to say, yes, we like this page, so that when we start to broadcast directly from the page from next Monday, the 4th of May, yes, you will be there. You will not miss an episode. So thanks, Pat. Yes, it's our page, right? I think right now we're getting traction. So it's about time that the show itself got its own page. So we're trying to move so that my page, I can have my page back. So please, if you're watching right now, go and like our page. It's the Sharing with Yemi page. Just give us a thumbs up and invite your friends actually to like the page as well, so that your friends will not miss any episode of the show. So don't forget to do that. Tell your friends that Sharing with Yemi has its own page now, and we're migrating from next week, from Monday. Don't forget. So from Monday, you won't be able to watch directly the show from my page here. You'll be watching it from the Sharing with Yemi page. Don't forget that. So you won't be missing anything. The only difference is that you must remember that we will then be streaming from the Sharing with Yemi page. All right. So I hope that's clear. And I'm excited about that. I'm looking forward to that. And we'll see how that goes. Right. So today is our Business Thursday, and we're talking everything business. So today we're going to welcome an experienced business guru who has ventured, like I said to you before, into different areas of business. He's been in the hospitality industry, he's worked in PR, he's worked in broadcast, he's worked in the food industry. My goodness, I mean, this man has his hands like an octopus, his tentacles everywhere in different areas of business. And so I am delighted to have him on the show today, sharing with us the different opportunities that exist in the business area, and perhaps how people can explore business opportunities in this COVID time. So please join me to welcome my guest today on Sharing with Yemi's Business Thursday, Mr. Akin Adeoya. You're welcome to Sharing with Yemi.
Thank you. Nice of you to have me.
Thank you very much. You are indeed you're indeed a business guru. I mean, when people see you the first time, until they hear you speak, they don't know how vast an experience you have. So we're going to start the show by you. I want you to really first tell us how you started your business journey. before you started your own business, what your work experience was up until when you started your business, and what areas you ventured into.
Okay, I think my aspiration in life has always been to be a writer.
Oh wow,
And
okay.
yeah, so I mean, I grew up on Pulp Fiction and African Writer series and
Tell me
poetry
about it. Pulp Fiction.
and, and my dream was to become a big time novelist and poet and um, write books that I've read all over the world. But when I came to Lagos, the reality of the Nigerian situation hit me, and it was either I joined the train out of the country, because the only place where you can really make a living out of writing is maybe in Europe or America,
Mm,
or I put down my pen and my writing pen and get into serious business. So I had to get a job as a writer. I mean, to cut the long story short, which is kind of business writing now. So
mm.
that's how I ended up in Roosevelt Advertising. It was tightly competitive job, but that was like a baptism of fire.
I
That
remember Roosevelt. Roosevelt was one of the big guns way back then
absolutely,
in the
absolutely,
90s. Yes.
yeah, even getting in there was a huge challenge for a rookie. But I guess they found something interesting about me, and they gave me that opportunity to get into the industry. And so that's where I saw the nexus. I was able to explain the nexus between business and creative writing.
Mm.
And of course, there is a huge connection. And I think I did fairly well there, and I think I received commendations for my work. But after some time, I thought, because copywriting job is a housewife's job.
Say that
You
again. Say that
is a
again.
housewife. Is the job
What
of a housewife.
You have to explain that now. What does that mean? Copywriting is a
Okay.
housewife's job.
Yes, in the traditional home, the wife sits down at home and takes care of the
Uh-huh.
home,
Uh-huh.
while the husband goes out to hustle and bring in the money.
Well, it's
Traditional,
what you said in the traditional
traditional,
setting. Yeah.
traditional.
Yeah.
So in the advertising agency, the client service people, the business development people, they go out. The research people, they go out to go and do research. The media
Mm.
people, they go out and make the media. The copywriter sits down and cracks his brain, breaking those
Ah,
codes to create the best concepts that will go on radio on TV. His
ah.
job, yes, his job is to sit down and get the job done. So the copywriter does little of outings and stuff like that. I didn't like that too much. So after some years, I decided to move on. And
Was it
so
the tasking? What was the challenge about that?
about the housewife thing.
About the copywriter thing.
No, copywriting was fantastic. Copywriting was fantastic. I mean, I think I was very fortunate. I worked on fantastic big. Remember the first Bank Centenary?
Oh yeah.
I mean, yes. So I was able to work on some significant briefs, and even at that early stage, I think I made a huge impact. I mean,
Mm.
and I want to be modest about it. But the point is that I wanted some adventure. I was restless. I was young. I was in my early 20s. I didn't want to just sit down in the office for my entire, in my youthful years. So I
It's that
wanted to
thing
have kind
about
of like,
making hay while the sun shines.
absolutely, and I think I must confess, I was also a bit jealous of the business development guys, the client service people, who have opportunities to get in those air conditioned cars, and go all out to go see the clients and go see the media and all that. So
Mm.
eventually, I tried to walk out of traditional advertising at that time, and then I went to a newspaper house this day to work as a writer. Still as a writer, but this time I was not writing about advertising and marketing. And I think that's where a lot of people kind of fell in love with my style of writing, and then of course I then got into the thick of business. And from then on, I think it's been all kinds of things. I would say I'm restless and impatient. So I've gotten my hands into a lot of things. I'm happy that many of them have succeeded. Several have also failed. in between, I've learned a lot of lessons. I won't call myself I'm not a billionaire or I'm not an extremely wealthy man. I'm just someone who has started something in all kinds of businesses. And, between succeeding in some and failing in some, I've learned a lot of lessons that I think can be very useful for the younger ones who are coming up and who want to understand. And for people going into business who want to risk investments. So I guess
Very
that
good.
summary. Yeah, yes, you've said it all. You said the things I've done. I've done PR. I've done hospitality. I have hotels. I have restaurants. I have PR agency. I have quite a few. I'm still developing resource. I'm developing 2 resources as we speak. So there are a lot of things going on. Challenges. Funding is hard in this country.
Okay,
But
before we go to challenges, I don't want you to jump to the challenges yet. Yes,
yeah.
we're going to talk about
that. That's just the. I don't know if I've put it on the head.
You've summarized your experience, and that's what I want us to actually look at right now. How past experiences from the various things that we do as humans play big roles in our ventures in the future in life. Sometimes people say, oh, I had no business doing this, and then they don't realize that that's experience building up for them, even when they do things that are personal to them, or even if they're working for somebody else, that experience counts. How much would you say the experience you gained while working for other people has been impactful when you started your own business?
Well, I mean, you can never underestimate the experience, no matter how small or how big. The more the experience you have, the better you are able to succeed in what you are doing. But let's not mix experience with corporate climbing. There are people who are traditionally suited for working in organizations and rising from the big bottom of that organization to become MD. Some people are going to become MDs of First Bank. They're going to become MDs of MTN. They're going to become MDs of multinational companies.
Yes.
They are not entrepreneurs, and they may never become entrepreneurs. But they are hugely successful. They are hugely intelligent, and they are extremely enterprising. But that's a different category. For those who want to go into business, you have to work in an organization to understand organogram. How is an organization structured? You need to understand corporate structure. You need to understand strategy. You need to understand how human beings relate with each other, even within the organization. You need to understand
emotional intelligence.
Absolutely. And you need to understand the relevance of marketing to business. So some of these things, you may not easily learn it when you are in university, even though they teach them in schools. But, going through it, seeing it in action has its own totally different dynamic in the way it affects the way you think and the way you act and the decisions you make, when you are in the war front, your own way ahead. So I recommend that young people should try to get a job in some corporate organizations and understand and learn in the early years. However, that is proven to be a bigger challenge these days because as you and I realize, the opportunities for young people to work in these companies are thinning, especially in our country where first the young people themselves they are challenged. But many of them have not had a good education. They don't write well. They don't read. So they have a challenge on their own. Then the organizations also have a challenge because they are unable to absorb, these young people in the numbers that is required. So you find a lot of young people sitting out at home complaining they do not have a job. I do not recommend that anybody should sit down at home. I've never been unemployed in my life. And I do not have any respect for anybody who says it's unemployed. Nigeria is the informal economy in the world. It's the most disorganized economy in the world, which means that's an advantage for the unemployed because it means you can virtually do anything. I mean, when I traveled to America and tried to get into the hotel business, I was shocked at the kind of regulations that were in place. The number of permits, the number of things you need to do before you can get the permit to either run an hotel or to build an hotel, even when the finance was available for some of my friends who thought I had the experience. In Nigeria, you buy a house or you buy a land, and you actually start building that house before you talk to government at all. Once you pay yes, absolutely. I mean, so if you know what you're doing, this country provides fantastic opportunities for you to do things that ordinarily in more structured economists, you will not even be able to dream of doing it. Take the food business, for instance. Where you live, I'm sure those of you in Europe and America, I'm sure you know to even set up a small booker, you need to get some permits. And there
Oh
will
my
be
goodness!
sponsors.
Even to exhibit in an outdoor event, a small outdoor event, you need
You
permits.
need
How
to
much
get all kinds
more
of
to set
permits.
up an entire restaurant?
Absolutely. You need to get all kinds of permits. They're so concerned about public safety, but they're so concerned about getting things right. Here, you don't need all those permits. It works for both good. It's both good and bad. It's good in the sense that for the smart, intelligent, and willing to do good individual, you can
Mm,
basically get good business and get going. It's bad in the sense that for the crooked, for the lazy, and
mm,
for those who are not willing to do the right thing, they take advantage of that and they mess things up. But we are talking about people with good intentions.
mm.
So I would say, yes. So I would say, sitting down at home is not an option. I would say, if you cannot get a job in a big organization, you start your business. The next thing
Mm.
they will tell you is that they don't have money to start business. I tell
I
you,
was just going to say that sometimes starting a business, the first excuse people give is, I don't have the funds to start the business. Some are looking for
yeah,
funds. Some are
yeah,
waiting for the opportunity to maybe
they will
connect.
never,
You can provide the funds.
they will
What,
never get those
how did you
funds.
look for the funds when you were going to start?
They will never get those. You mean me?
Yes.
No, I didn't look for any funds. See, if you are a fresh young graduate or you are you've worked for some years like I have, and you're looking to start your own business, and then you're expecting some magician to bring money to you to start, you're going to wait for Godot. Remember waiting for Godot. You're going to wait forever.
Mm,
It's not going to happen except your uncle is a friend of Dangote, or your dad is a rich man, or you belong to some organization. So, I mean, you must have that background of wealth or something. It's not easy for you to go talk to a rich man in this country and for them to give you money. No bank is going to give you money.
in any country whatsoever.
Thank you. Thank you. But you agree with me that if you have a good idea, well, I mean, in any country whatsoever, but when I read the biographies of the Bill Gates and the Steve Jobs of this world, I mean, it was a struggle, but you get that feeling that with persistence and with brilliant ideas, people will be willing to listen to you in more developed places. I think in
Mm,
Nigeria, nobody is interested in brilliant ideas.
mm.
And people are rich. Our rich people here are only interested in brick and mortar. They're not interested because there are two categories of rich people. Those who actually did business, I mean, legitimate businesses to make their money.
Mm,
Those ones are too careful. They don't want to take a risk, and because they themselves are knowledgeable about business, and
mm.
because they themselves see those opportunities based on their own experience and background, okay, they don't think that you, a young graduate or a guy with 5, 10 years experience, as you have anything to offer them. They don't,
Have
so they won't
anything
listen.
to offer? Yeah.
Except you are his son or his cousin or his friend's son.
Or you've been
You know.
recommended. Yes.
Yes, and the way the recommendations go in this country is extremely parochial. It's
Mm.
nepotistic. It's not based on merit. Okay, the other category of rich people we have in Nigeria is people who stole a lot of government money. People steal a lot of government money. They are not stealing that money because they want to invest it. They are stealing it because they are afraid of their future. They have this psychological complex that they're still going to end up poor. So they want to steal so much money so that they have money to continue spending for the rest of their lives.
Hmm.
So when you go to them with an investment idea, they're so terrified of losing that money that they rather keep that money in the bank for a little pittance in terms of returns than risk it in some enterprise
Investing in someone else's
that may
initiative.
become the apple of the next generation. They're not going to do it, and that's why we are not seeing businesses of merit, of note, springing up in this
You
country.
just hit something on the head there that I've been wondering myself why we don't have so many brilliant initiatives from young people, why we don't have them springing up. I wonder why we have so many supposed millionaires and billionaires in places in Africa, and yet it's difficult to see sustainable businesses in a lot of these countries. And
Yes,
you've just hit the nail on the head there, that the fears of some of these billionaires or millionaires who didn't work for the money but perhaps maybe stole the money. Their fears is that if they invest the money, they're not sure what the returns will be on that investment. And so they would rather just keep it in a savings account or an investment, invest it somewhere else, maybe in estates or something that they know will yield them money they would spend for the rest of their lives. But that is not supporting, development, business development in the countries. And it's really sad.
Yeah, but they don't have the sophistication. They haven't read the book by Bill Gates. They didn't. They didn't hear about. They don't know who Elon Musk is. They don't understand the philosophy of capitalism. They are not true capitalists. They are what Gigi used to call like bourgeoisie. They are actually people. They are actually people who just came to money, and they don't understand the philosophy of making, keeping, and multiplying money. A few of them do. Like the Dangotes of this world, like the Adenugas of this world. And those ones, you can see how successful they are because they're taking advantage of, they are taking the field and nobody's challenging them. But the large majority of our rich people, they are not people who made money in the way traditional capitalists make their money. So when you then go to them with an idea and you say you need X amount of money to invest in this idea, they're just laughing at you that what do you know? Because they know how they made their own money. And they're wondering whether you have the capacity, or the opportunity to get that kind of money they made. You have civil servants in Nigeria who have billions in the bank. There was the former late director of finance of administration of INEC who died in a plane crash, and then they find 7 billion in his account.
In his account.
One individual, a civil servant. A guy like that, you can't go to him with the business idea. He's just going to be looking at you and he's going to be laughing. And you'll be wondering why is he laughing? Because he knows how he made money. So the philosophy that you start with 1,000 naira, with 5,000 naira, and you grow it, is not something that they're familiar with. That same sickness, that same illness also afflicts the young generation. So you see young graduates that they say they want to start business. You see how much they need, and they say they need 10 million. It's the same problem. How can you just want to start business and you're looking for 10 million? So they also don't believe in peaceful growth because the guy believes that before he can start his business, he needs to buy a car, he needs to have an apartment in Admiralty, and he wants to start big. Meanwhile, he doesn't have any experience to back it up. So a lot of them will also keep it. So it's a general problem, and the problem is affected by the level of education and level of exposure that we have in this country. I'm happy you are doing this kind of program because we can share information, we can share knowledge with each other. But the real problem we have is lack of education, lack of exposure. And where it gets tragic is that the people who actually get the kind of education that could be useful, happens to be the sharing of some of these very, very rich oligarchs. You can see the CV of God rest his soul, the late Abakiari, late chief of staff. He was in Warwick, he was in Cambridge, and he was in Harvard. But how many businesses did he set up? He controlled banks. He became chief executive of UBA, and with what experience? I know people that spent 30 years to become chief executive of banks. So how do you understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So these are the class of rich people that we have in Nigeria. People like that, you cannot go to them with a business idea and succeed because they themselves don't understand it. They went to those schools as a matter of prestige so that they can have the qualification to take those roles which have been reserved for them already. But we cannot allow that to bother us. What we're talking about is how do we survive. So I think we should just focus and go back to the point of the day.
Well, you've made some really, really cogent points there. And I mean, people are joining us here and people are also commenting on some of the things that you said. I want to welcome you if you're just joining us. This is Sharing with Yemi, and today is our business day. And today we're opportunities during this lockdown. My guest is Akin Adeoya, a business guru who has ventured into different areas of business and is sharing his vast experience of business with us. Timothy, it's great to have you here. Thank you for joining us. Kiki Dowu, thank you. You're very welcome. Chemostic Total Events, it's great to have you here. Chemostic says, Mr. Adeoya, making a whole lot of sense. Pat McDermott says, so important. We must speculate money to accumulate. But sadly, no matter how rich people are, they're always reluctant to part with their money, which is pretty sad. One would expect that people who have the money to possibly invest in other people would want to see that multiplier effect. And for them, it is an investment. But unfortunately, that's not the case. Bayo Ayo, I was going to say the conversation has deviated from the topic. No, it hasn't. We're still on point here. And thank you. Adebola says, now following Share with Yemi on Facebook. Thank you so much. I'll just quickly remind you, if you're just joining us, Sharing with Yemi from Monday next week is going to migrate to its own page. It's going to migrate to the Sharing with Yemi page. So please, as you're watching, if you take a few seconds to go to Sharing with Yemi, the page, and like the page, so that from next Monday, you can watch us on Sharing with Yemi page, and I can have my page back. So thank you for joining us. Gloria Lee Ovie. Hello, Mama. Thank you for joining us today. Very true, she says. Young people want to start business and quoting large for start. So let's look at what you mentioned earlier, that principle of making, keeping, and multiplying money. A lot of people don't understand it. And when I say a lot of people, let's look at young people. Let's start with young people who are looking at the possibility of becoming business people. So they leave school. There's no guarantee of a job waiting for them, but they've got initiatives. Not everyone will become business people, like you said previously, but there's some people that just have it in them. They're not academic minded, but they're great with their hands. They're great with initiating different things. And then they have that will to push. What would be your advice to young people who have very small money, or perhaps literally nothing at all? They think it's nothing, but it's small, but they're waiting for the big funds to come before they venture out. What's your advice for them? And for anybody else who is thinking of a business idea right now?
I mean, I very much worry for anyone who has a business idea and then he has little no money and then he's waiting. He's waiting for the day that the money will come and then they will start it. You know, like I said, that person is waiting for Godot, you know, and may end up a very frustrated man or woman.
Yeah, so, but surely, let me ask though, surely there's some business ventures that require money. They require some form of solid funding to start. You would agree with me on that. So how do people go about starting with in such areas?
Well, if you can't get someone to give you that money, then you don't go to that area. Because you're not going to steal that money. And if your father is not rich and he didn't leave money for you and you don't have a rich uncle and nobody's going to give you that money, you are not going to sit down in your house waiting. That's why I said I don't have sympathy for people who sit down at home and say they are waiting for something, they are waiting for a job, they are waiting for money to invest. No. You have to start something. You have to start something. You have to step out of the house. If you don't have money for transport, you have to walk on the streets and look for opportunities. And trust me, there are always opportunities. It's waiting for you somewhere. Every individual, every human being has got to have one or two opportunities, one big chance in his life. So sitting down at home, you're not going to come across that chance at home. That's the first thing you need to understand. So I don't recommend that anyone you say is waiting for. It is when you are moving around, hustling around from point A to point B to point C to point D that you meet someone by accident who is willing to actually help you because they have seen the kind of energy you are displaying, the kind of capacity that he is seeing in you. But you know, when you sit down, you are waiting. Nobody sees you. You are not exposed. Look at me now. I'm talking to you here now. I'm sure quite a few people are looking at me. Now, those people, many of them probably didn't know me before. So if I go to them and tell them I can advise them in their business, they may just laugh at me and tell me to leave their office. But right now, if I send an SMS to them and say, I'm Akin Adeoya, I want to advise you. Even if they won't give me that job at the end of the day, they will take me a little bit more serious than they will. Now, this is not costing me any money. Okay, this is not costing me any money, but this is important to building a reputation. So if you're sitting down there and say you have capacity, you know how to build, you can build fantastic gardens. You have the knowledge. You can build fantastic gardens, you know how to do it. So you are looking for somebody to give you, some money so that you can set up a business and buy equipment. Isn't it? But nobody is going to give you that money if they're not convinced about your capacity. So go and start talking about your capacity. Write about it. Newspapers will publish interesting articles about any subject under the sun, as long as it is knowledgeable, it is newsy, it is relevant. So if you know that you are a fantastic gardener and you truly know about it, start writing about gardening. Write about gardening. That's not good. You don't need any investment to that. It's just one example. I'm not going to give to you. So those who want more, they should write me. Start writing. If indeed you are not a quack and you know about gardening, take your pen and paper and start writing them. And you know what? You don't need to be a magician. 90%, in this holiday, this first holiday, I can assure you that about 2 or 3 of
holiday, true.
This first holiday, in my house we've benefited something from it. All my kids are now gardeners. I noticed that they're spending a lot of time playing games and watching cartoons and all that. I said, look, we're going to, although they're doing schooling online and all the free time you just spent on this wasting of time and all. So I said, you know what? You guys don't want to read books anymore. But I got them interested in gardening. And we're doing all our research on YouTube. You can't, it's unbelievable the resources for gardening
online
for free.
Do you know what?
Absolutely.
What you've just said there, I'll take one step back. And you mentioned there that if people have ideas, if they move around, then they would meet opportunity, they would meet somebody. Now
Absolutely.
You can't move around because of the lockdown, but people spend hours on social media just browsing other people's pages. And each of those pages they browse, there's an opportunity there, but they don't take it.
It depends.
And they spend 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hours on social media.
Yes, it depends on the kind of social media you are using. If you're spending your time on Instagram, you're not going to. I don't know how many really important people can help you in business you meet on Instagram, but you meet them on LinkedIn. These people don't go to LinkedIn. All the people you are talking about, they don't go to LinkedIn. LinkedIn is where the business decision makers, all the investors, all the HR recruiters, they are LinkedIn. The guy is looking for a job, or he's sitting down and spending his life on Facebook, looking at the pictures of all those girls. It's not going to happen. He should go to LinkedIn, but LinkedIn is not as entertaining as Facebook. It's not as entertaining as Instagram. Okay? But LinkedIn is where you make all the connections, but it also takes an effort. You're not going to just get there today, because the LinkedIn is also a community of very discerning, very intelligent, very exposed people. So you come in, you don't just start saying, you need to engage with them, join communities, become part of communities, and over time, share your own ideas, write articles, and make comments, get involved in conversations, join webinars. Then gradually, how did I get invited to this program? I got invited to this program because somebody knows me. Okay, I wrote a piece on Facebook talking about the opportunities that are emerging post-COVID-19 and even during COVID-19. And of course, you saw it and said, okay, look, we would like you to come and talk about this. If I hadn't written that article, if I'd been sleeping, okay, complaining, although I do a lot of complaining, but also I try to take action in addition to the complaining. I don't just complain, I'm also proactive. So I wrote that piece and put it on Facebook and a couple of other places, and I've gotten a lot of calls. A lot of people are saying, oh, can you advise on this? We're doing this business. Let me tell you something. For instance, the buka business as we know it in Nigeria is dead for now. The restaurant business as we know it in Nigeria is 70% dead for now. Somebody is going to provide food for those millions of people who are going to be hungry during lunchtime. How are we going to solve that problem? That's a huge business opportunity. It's billions of naira. So don't tell me you are looking for 10 million naira or 5 million naira to do a business. You could be doing a karamama inside at the back of your house. And like I said, no police will come and arrest you.
Mm.
And you distribute this thing. You don't need to buy bikes. They will tell you they want to buy bikes to distribute the food. No, you don't need to buy bikes. There are companies who do logistics. You need to find them. You need to engage them. Okay, so the opportunities are emerging, but you
Mm.
have to open your eyes and say that you need to read. If somebody posts an article on Instagram or on Facebook, I don't think the articles on Instagram anyway. They're only pictures. So
No, they
you
are
so you
putting, you know.
so you
Anybody who goes to read an article on Instagram is wasting their time.
if you say a jobless, if you say a jobless young man or woman who says he's looking for a job and is spending all his time on Instagram, you know that he's not going to get that job.
Mm.
And if he wants to go into business, he's going to have a hard time. Except that business is publicity on Instagram.
Mm.
You know, so you need to be in the right place at the right time. You need to invest your energy. You need to develop an interest in those things that will yield fruit, even if they are not as interesting as the other things that you want to do. It's easy, all of us.
Very good. So I will come back to this. Kind of like a startup that builds perhaps the future cash cow. I'll come back to this, but I want to take some quick comments that have been coming in as you've been speaking there, and people are just engaging because I think you're just hitting nails in different areas, and people are really connecting with that. So if you're just joining us, this is Sharing with Yemi. Today is our Business Thursday, and we've got the business guru in the house, and he's on fire. He's just spacing out like wildfire, and I'm sure that you're picking the pointers there. Whatever it is that works for you or that might speak to you or speak to your business at this time, please take it and use it to build your business. Bayo Ayo, the law is here, and he's made some comments. I'm going to take a few of them. He says, young people need to take advantage of the internet to learn rather than to socialize, which is key. And I would add that even older people as well. There are a few older people that they watch you. They know all the movies on YouTube. They are on it from morning till God knows how long. And this lockdown time, some people see it as, like you rightly said, a false holiday to spend time. It's great to be on Netflix. Yes, that's great. We take our me time and all that bit. But it's an amazing time to get creative, to write a book, put your thoughts down, write a book, write an article for a publishing house like Mr. Adeoya had mentioned. There's so much that people can do. And Bayo, your father goes to say that before now, it said opportunity comes. Now you have to go look for opportunity. And that brings me to the question of how people can create business ideas, especially in this COVID time where countries are still locked down. And some people are thinking, okay, I'm not sure I have the right idea because we're in lockdown. But one of the things I learned was that in order to create business, you have to think of a gap that you're going to fill. If there's a gap that needs filling, then that's a business opportunity. And you mentioned something close to that earlier on, that you have to see what's happening around you. For example, food needs to be gotten to people. People need to eat because the butchers are closed. So what are some of the pointers that people can begin to think of to help them look for gaps that are around them right now to see them as business opportunities?
Well, the most important skill is the skill of observation.
Observation.
Yes. The article that Mr. Adenuga saw that interested him, I almost threw it away after writing it because I didn't think it was profound.
Thank goodness you didn't.
Thank goodness I didn't. I didn't think it was very profound. But I've received a lot of interesting comments and commendations about it. It's a short piece, but it was just my observation. And I will give you a few of them. The first was that I don't eat bread until now. Until this first holiday, and I don't buy bread. The bread is bought either by my wife or by my daughter. I don't buy bread. I don't know the good from the bad. And that's on for like forever. But this is COVID. And so nobody wants to go out of the house except me. So I started buying bread. So there's a big street, that was down the road. And I get to big street at 6 o'clock. The gate is locked. They've sold out. I say, oh no. Then I drive to ShopRite. I got a ShopRite at 6:15. They closed up. They sold out. I said no. And I go to 3 or 4 places where I can get bread and start making calls. I need bread. And everybody is saying, oh, you need to move out early if you want to get bread. It's not easy. And I'm asking myself, did they reduce production capacity? No, they actually increased production capacity. Everybody is buying bread. Lagos State government is buying bread and sharing. Politicians are buying bread. Now, a lot of people, that used to eat out and all that, they now eat inside the house. So the demand for bread has skyrocketed. So whichever, and I told you just now, I said, I normally, for 15 years, I wasn't eating bread because it has a lot of sugar. I don't like sugar. But I have no choice. I have to eat some bread during this period. Not much, but I need to. So what does that tell you? That tells you that bread is going to continue to explode because a lot of the time, look at it. Lagos State government now says you can actually open for some time, but nobody can sit down in your place to eat that food. So people are going to be looking for food items that are portable, that they can move around with. They're not going to easily get spoiled. So they're going to buy their bread, and they know they can make their tea in their office, and maybe add some butter or some whatever else, and they go with it. So bread is going to explode. So I could write a book about why people should invest in bread at this time. And if you don't have money to invest in bread, I can advise you to go and talk to bakeries to allow you to sell bread for them.
Become a distributor.
You can become a distributor. You can go and discuss with families. Like if I have someone who says he can drop 2 loaves of sliced bread in my house every day, without anybody having to go out because it's a border. Without anybody going to, I will sign a 1 month monthly renewable contract and I'll pay you up front. Just make sure you drop the bread in my house every day.
The bread. Wow. I hope somebody's listening. I hope somebody's listening right now.
Absolutely. So and if it's applying to me and I'm not very rich, you can imagine all these rich people all over the place. They are afraid. They don't want to risk their life. They're afraid to go out. They're afraid to go to shops and all that. You want to just deliver the bread for them at home. They're going to love it. Just knock them down to monthly contracts and you get your money and you supply them bread and everybody's happy. That one does not require you to get 1 million naira from anybody as investment. Do you understand?
You get your commission on the distribution. You go, you pick up the bread, you distribute, you get your commission on the distribution. You don't need a dime to start.
Absolutely. There will be challenges. You need to be able to move the bread from point A to point B and all that. But you see, what is youth for? What do you have this energy for? You got to start from somewhere. If you read the story of the great MKO himself, he had a lot of challenges starting. So he's not going to be just like a piece of cake. You got to struggle to get there. So these opportunities, like I said, they are all based on observation. The other thing I observe, I ask myself, what's going to happen? I love going to Buka a lot. I'm not saying restaurants. I'm going to talk about restaurants, but Buka, to go and eat, normal pounded yam.
For our international audience who don't understand the Buka is the local food. Literally almost saying
this
like
is Nigerian
food. I know, right?
It's a very Nigerian kind of traditional or indigenous concept of restaurant where you can get food served in the way we normally eat it in our traditional environment. And there are certain kind of meals that are common in this kind of place. One of them is amala, is at the top of the list. There's pounded yam and stuff like that. Food is not prepared like that of a restaurant, which I think is a la carte. This food is already done and it's hot and sizzling and it's on fire, and you get and you ask for it and get your own, and it's burning your throat all the way down to your stomach. It's as hot as anything. So
now that's a COVID right there.
Traditional restaurants, or bukas as I call them, they won't have air conditions for you. They won't be that expansive, or luxurious. So you find a lot of huddling, a lot of involuntary body hugging. Sometimes you're on a queue. So, and body is touching body. That is not going to happen now. So, if you have not thought about it, think about it. I know these restaurants. I know some of them will do 1 million naira a day. I know some will do 2 million naira a day. I know some will do 500 naira a day because I actually commissioned the research on it. They're making a kill. They were making a kill. They are in trouble right now, whether they like it or not. And I don't know what they're going to do about it. But most of these are not run by people who can easily adapt because they are not very literate people. They're just traditional, so this woman. So it's an opportunity for you out there, and I'm talking, this is applicable to Nigeria now. Sorry.
Yeah.
So I've played in London, America. This may not.
But you never know. You never know. There are traditional restaurants around, and still follow. But the general concept of it, it's a model that can be, replicated.
The model can be replicated, because the problem is the same. The problem is that you can't have huddling anymore. You can't have people choked up, sitting down together. Nobody feels safe. In fact, you are not in Lagos. You are not even allowed, to sit in the restaurant, whether it's a local traditional booker or a standard restaurant. For now. So, what is going to happen to that business? The guys who have the business, they're going to have a challenge. Those of them who can rapidly transform will transform and they begin deliveries. Because they're not used to that business model, they will have initial challenges. They have one advantage. They have a tried and tested product. They have a tested and trusted products. But they have one disadvantage. They don't understand logistics. They don't understand distribution. They don't understand fulfillment. They don't understand publicity. The kind of publicity you do for guys who are going to place order, how to develop an app, how to place your order for food on app, how to deliver it in a way that is seamless and faultless and, in a timely manner. All those things are not in the realm of the traditional owners of these bookers and these restaurants. So if you are there and you have access to all these resources online, mostly free, master it now and go into business. The only thing you are lacking is the skill to prepare that food. So if you can team up with people who already have that skill.
Collaboration.
Absolutely. If you team up who already have that skill, if you have the skill to deliver that meal, you are rich. I would like to buy shares in your company.
Yeah.
So this is the way. It's observation. Now they've just said that there's going to be all kind of protocol now regarding public transport. Public transport is the way in which we see public transport, especially in the third world, is going to change because you can't do all those hauling anymore except you want to lose your life. So what opportunities can we see there? So there are all kinds of opportunities opening up. I mean, it's going to kill some people's business. I have hotels, we'll lock down our hotels now, for weeks. And we even now that they're relaxing the rules, we are not still willing to admit people because we don't know where they're coming from. You admit one single person into an hotel, and it turns out the person is COVID-19 compliant. Your hotel gets shut down. Compliant. I don't want to use a negative word. Your hotel gets shut down. And that's it. And it's all, and of course, the negative publicity. I was listening to or reading the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Governor Yema, who made the ridiculous announcement that because they have thousands of Nigerian potential returnees who want to come home, they made the arrangement for them to fly them home. Now, they are looking for hotels where they will put them for 14 days, before they release them to the population. And I just laughed to myself that I've been in the hotel business as a side hustle for over 12 years. I've never heard the government functionary announce that they're looking for hotel rooms. They have friends that they give the business to. Now, because there's COVID-19 in the air, the Minister of Foreign Affairs is announcing that they're looking for thousands of hotel rooms. I mean, that's fantastic business. But why? But nobody wants it.
Mm.
Do you understand? Nobody wants it. Nobody wants it. He said
So
they called the
you're
government.
not offering your hotel rooms.
Not by a million. I mean, not for anything, not for billions of dollars, because that would be the end of the business. The minute you hear over there
Wow.
that these people lodge in 1960 hotels, that's it. If for the next 1 year you don't want to go even on that street, think the problem. But that is also an opportunity
Mm.
for some people, not necessarily the hotel business, because hotels are branded. Because they are branded, they depend on their reputation to survive and to succeed.
How many
But
hotels do you have presently? How many branches do you have?
three,
You have 3. So as it is now, those 3 they're locked down.
they're closed now, yes.
Wow.
Well, not short, but not admitting, because we have some people who were like residential lodgers.
Okay.
You understand? And it will have been cruel. Even though it's not financial, it's actually a loss running the hotel with
Few people
that
in.
few number. Exactly. But these
Yeah.
are guys some of them have been there with us for years. They live there. So it was cool to just kick them out. So we just left them, and then we're running very, very on a shoestring. The services
Yeah.
are not cool. And
Mm.
we will not the staff are under strict instructions not to admit anyone that they don't know very well as a regular customer whose fees is be coming back and forth. Not somebody, because we don't know, somebody may just be coming in from some foreign country. We don't.
Everybody's afraid of foreigners now. It's crazy.
You have to
It is
be.
crazy.
You have to be, because we also go there. We go there. So if they take someone who is compliant and the person, whatever, and then some of us go there also, so it becomes a big problem.
Wow.
So that's the challenge. So that's that.
Fantastic points there. Observation is key. You're thinking of an initiative.
Observation.
You're thinking of what to do. Look
Everybody
around you. There are always
look around you
opportunities. Yes.
in your environment. Identify what was happening before that is either not happening again or that cannot happen again because of the current circumstances. There is an opportunity there.
Mm.
There is an opportunity there. And trust me, because of the desperation in the air, fear is the key that unlocks the pockets of the rich. Absolutely.
I'm going to write that down. Fear is the key
that unlocks the pocket of the rich.
The pocket of the rich.
Absolutely.
Wow, and I love that.
How that relates to what we're saying is, I just told you about bread. When I go to a place to buy bread, because even at home, Madam is always on my case. You can't go out. Don't touch this one. Don't touch that one. Even the shoe I'm wearing, I'm not allowed to wear the shoe into the house. My kids are not allowed to hug me when I'm coming in. I have to first go and walk.
I know it's saying here.
Do you understand? So when I now go out, I'm so conscious. To push the door open is a problem. To put my hand on the desk. So when I mistakenly do this thing by reflex, I'm psychologically disorganized for a few minutes before I tell myself, no, come on, it's not the end of the world. So there are some people who will not even take those chances. So even you tell them that you're going to bring the bread to their house,
they don't want it.
They will embrace it. They will embrace it.
I get you now. They don't want to have to go out. So they will embrace you bringing it to them. So they don't have to step out.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that can apply to all kinds of, take fresh vegetables, for instance, fresh fruits, for instance. I don't know if you've seen those videos where some of these fruit vendors drop their fruits inside the gutter and then bring it out again.
Yeah.
You've seen it?
Yeah.
I don't know what will be the objective of that. But what we know, what we feel now, is that these things might be unsafe for consumption. But if you wake up now, you see, again, look, a lot of people, let me tell you a story. There's a young lady that I mentor. Good looking, nice looking young lady. well educated. And the last time we had a discussion, I told her, I said, look, this is your opportunity to make money now. Where you live in Lekki is not the high class Lekki, it's the poor, the low income area,
Yeah.
high density Lekki area. I said, they consume a lot of ewa going there. And your name is Ashake. We are going to create a brand called Ashake Lewa.
Wow.
Yes. I said, you don't even need to do anything. Just go and get this Igun woman who know how to, just one is enough.
Yeah.
Let them cook this. Do all your publicity. And you can do targeted publicity on social media now, where you are sitting down in a place and you are doing, and you just pick a particular area.
A geographical zone.
Yes, you can do that. And you also have your SMS campaign, and you can have word of mouth campaign. Okay, all you need is just 500 to 1,000 customers, and you are rich. I mean, really, really rich. No senior bank executive can earn what you'll be making. Because if you are making sales of 500 naira a plate, and you're able to sell 1,000 plates, that's 500,000 naira turnover a day.
Wow.
And I can tell you, the food business, you can easily make 50% margin in Nigeria that I know. 50% margin is very, very realistic in Nigeria that I know. Especially if you don't have a restaurant. If you have a restaurant,
not paying overhead, you're not,
you have crazy overhead. You have NEPA, you have security, you have cleaner, you have people who serve the food who are going to steal your money. If you are delivering, you don't lose a dime to anybody. You don't lose a dime to anybody, and then you're doing to go. People come, they just pick the food, pay, and go. You don't lose any money. Immediately she heard Ashake Lewa, she just started laughing. The very concept of it made her tuitioners dissolve. Said, me. How can I?
What?
Yes, I said, but that's what we make it sell, because the musicality of that name.
Yes. It kind of connects together, the Ewa and the Ashake.
Yeah. And they see, and people can create a mental picture. They want to know who is this Ashake Lewa.
Yeah.
Then they want to take the base, So we can actually build something around your image in social media across. That will even be relevant on places like Instagram, where thousands of people like you will also see it. Ashake Lewa, you can become a big brand. She hated the idea.
Wow.
She thought, yes.
Somebody's listening right now, and maybe somebody's gonna have that idea and then start something.
If you are Ashake, you can do Ashake, or you can do Ajoke Lewa, you can do Fumilayo University. But the truth is that our people, those things resonate with them. You can have an English name and all that, that's fine, and it will work. But in this environment, when you do something local, it kind of remains a bit unforgettable.
Connect with it. I suppose it's the same in most environments. People want the local stuff. They want to be able to connect with the local stuff. Here we always encourage people to buy Irish, buy local Irish stuff, and we're promoting Irish. So I totally understand that. We're coming close to the end of the show. We're out of time, and I tell you, I have been inspired. I hope people are getting several business ideas now. If you've been thinking of something to do, there you go. You must have picked 1 or 2 points from our business guru today. He's seen it all, he's done it all, and he's shared his vast experience with us today. I want to thank everybody who's just been making comments and just and sharing. Can you imagine? I got somebody who is saying, my producer here is saying, Arewa, Elewa. That's the Ewa boy business name. Arewa, Elewa. Business ideas just abound. It's just being able to identify them and bring them to life. Also, putting into consideration those who know better than we do, asking them for their support. That young lady had you as a mentor, and that is priceless. We need to recognize, people need to recognize that. I want to begin to thank you so much for giving us an hour of your time today. This is like a masterclass, really and truly. A business masterclass. And I hope that people value this and are able to take something. The examples you gave were connected to your environment, which is Africa, Nigeria. But like I said before, Look, the model is one that one can take and replicate anywhere, because the concept of observation is true to any human being. Once you're able to observe, you can see the gaps that are bound, and you can meet those needs and fill those gaps with your business initiative. Thank you so much. The one thing I'm definitely taking away with me today is fear is the key that unlocks the pocket of the rich. Fear
Absolutely.
is the key. When I mean, it's so true. When they get afraid, they just want to they want to solve that problem straight away. They won't
throw money at the problem.
They throw money at the problem straight away. They're throwing money at COVID right now. Right. Thank you so much. Before I say my final goodbyes, I just want to thank everybody who's been watching with us today. Remember, Sharing with Yemi is migrating to its own homepage from Monday, the 4th of May. So if you're watching, please go right now and like our Sharing with Yemi page so that you can keep watching the show Sharing with Yemi on its page. From next Monday, the 4th of May, you will not be able to watch Sharing with Yemi as a live show on my page. We probably would do, we will host a party on my page, but the show itself will migrate to its own page. So please go and like Sharing with Yemi. And tomorrow is a fun Friday. I hope to see you then. And the MIB conference, it's holding this Saturday, the 2nd of May. So I hope you've booked your space. It's a free conference, and it's open to all men and women. To book your space, go to www.yemiadenuga.com and book your space. There are limited spaces available. Thank you so much, Guru Akin Adeoya. That's your new name, Guru Business Guru Akin Adeoya. Thank you so much. It's been such an empowering and inspiring business hour. Thank you. And
thank you so much.
We probably will bring you back. I have a strong feeling we might have to bring you back for a different conversation. You know.
No problem. No, anytime.
Have a great evening. Have a great evening. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Yeah. It's been such a brilliant evening today. Thank you for being part of the show. I hope to see you tomorrow evening, our Fun Friday, and we're going to have great fun. Thank you, everyone, for being here tonight. Until tomorrow, stay home, stay safe, and look after each other. God bless you.